Hi, it's Gritty here at demondemon.com. A little bit of background noise today. We've got the people doing the hedges across the road, so sorry for that. We're looking at keyword tools yesterday, and in particular the Google keyword tool. And really, I did pick it apart a little bit because there's lots of things it doesn't do and lots of analysis you need to do with the information that it gives you. Whether you do this before you analyse your competition or afterwards is up to you. It's probably best to analyse the competition first. I'm doing it this way around, and because it's I have these tools ready and do this video today. Okay, so this is a spreadsheet. It works in either Excel or, in this case, OpenOffice or Calc, which is free. And all you basically do is put in the information that you've taken from Google's tool into here and sort of analyse it and work out whether it's worth your time and effort to attack a particular keyword or not. So first of all, you decide whether it's a local or global bit of marketing you're going to do. If you're the only time you'd want local is if it was a service or product that could only be delivered to your own country or your own area, so you'd have to go for local then. Most things, particularly electronic downloads and information services, they're pretty much global. Commerciality of keyword, this one's take a bit of explaining, so bear with me for this. None is just random words that you happen to be ranking for, probably not nouns at all. They're not names of objects or nothing you could tangible. Nothing you actually would sell. You'd have to think long and hard about how you could attach a product to that particular phrase. But so none. Low is most other stuff, these long tail phrases like walking in the something or other, or setting up a bank account, or some phrase like that. You think, well, there is some commercial possibilities there. It does mention a product somewhere in it, but most of the people who come to my site are actually be looking for information, not to buy things. I could see there is, I could market this to the banking sector, and I could market this for the hiking sector if it's walking here or there, or whatever. But it's not in your face. It's I'm going to get a lot of window shoppers. Medium, that is naming a product. So Hitachi 32 T9 9X3 TVs, or motor car, or whatever it could be. It's actually naming a product. High, that's naming a product alongside a buying imperative. So motor car dealership, Hitachi 32 blah 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 for sale, discounted something or other. So there's actually a word which you associate very, very strongly with buying, like dealership, discount, bonus, for sale, cheap, something like that, alongside a product. Because people who come to your site or any site with that in their key phrase they've typed into Google or any other search engine, they're looking to buy. Then you put in the local and global searches, CPC, which in most cases the best you're going to find is from, as we look at yesterday's video, that the list in AdWords, what it is. This is in pounds, but if you just right click there and change that to dollars, it's just the unit, whatever unit you want to put in. Doesn't make any difference. Competition, high, medium or low. Again, the best scan for this is, to begin with at least, is Google's own estimation of competition. Just put in low, medium, high, whatever it says. Fudge factor, we'll leave that. I'm putting that back to 1 for now. That's taking into account later on, when you've been running your campaign for a while, how out are Google's figures. When you've reached number 6 in SERPs, are you getting the number of visitors that Google said you'd be getting, or is it wildly out? And if you increase this, you're saying it's harder. If you decrease it, you're saying it was easier than it actually was. So you may want to increase or decrease the fudge factor. SERPs, this is the position in the search engines, either where you are now or where you'd like to be. It goes down to 20. If you're below 20, you're not making any money. In fact, if you're below 6, you're making very little. Then your conversion rate. What percentage of visitors that arrive on your site for this term, not the total number of visitors that arrive on your site, but the number of visitors arrive on your site for this term, because this is all you're looking at, one particular phrase. How many of them actually end up taking the action that puts money in your pocket or wallet. And I've allowed between 1%, which is very poor, up to 25%, which I've never actually seen in real life. I've heard some BS marketers claim they get close to 25%, but I don't think it's realistic. It does depend very much on the product and the ticket price and a lot of other factors and the competition. One is very poor if they're coming for an exact for the phrase you're targeting. Typically, you're looking between 3%, which is low but okay for some very high ticket items, up to 7, which is pretty good. I've always considered 8% conversion rate as pretty world class, unless if the commerciality of keyword is exceptionally high and you're about the only person in the market. I do have some sites that click on at 15, or at least have the odd month here or there that go to 15, but that's quite rare. It doesn't matter what your keyword is, and that's the question I was asked when I was testing this out yesterday. Well, where do you put your keyword? You don't put your keyword in here anyway. It doesn't need to go anywhere. It's whatever your keyword is, it's the data you put in. This doesn't analyse your keyword. It takes the data you've already got for your keyword and tells you whether it's commercial or not, and it does that here. So there you've got this figure, which is very rough cut, but it's as good as, believe me, it's as good as any of the other tools you could buy would present you with, of how much per month. This is the monthly figure based on the monthly number of searches, the commerciality of your word, the cost per click, your coverage, your conversion rate, your position in SERPs. It adds it all together and says, right, this is how much you could be potentially making per month based on these figures and them being correct. Now, whether it's dollars or pounds is pretty irrelevant. It's this number of units. So if this is $2.54, then take this as 2.54 or 5.44 dollars as well. It's just the unit. You can then work out whether it's worth your time and effort, put a value on your time, put a value on your SEO and IM effort, put a value on any services you have to buy, and work out what your return for investment would be to attack that word. So if you're going to spend $300 on a website and then $100 a month optimizing it, but the first month you need $200 worth of content, you think, well, the first, I don't make a profit month one. I'm actually down about $15 because I'm spending $600, but from then on, for a couple of $100 a month, I'm making nearly $600. I've got a return on investment of about 285%. Great, I'll stick to that. That's worth going for if this is correct. Very important to come back now and again and revisit the figures here. Use the fudge factor, or change these figures to what you're really getting. That's probably best. That's probably the best way of doing it. I do that in case it's just something screwy somewhere. But alter these figures to the numbers you're actually getting from Google. You've got the exact number that Google tells you you're going to get, but what are you really getting? You're ranking number 8 in SERPs. You're really getting 1400. You can extrapolate what position 1 would get in terms of that's a half of what you should be getting. So half that, and you're actually getting rather than 12,500, there's 6,250, and you'll see that that's made a huge difference to the amount of money you're likely to make. So most of them are dropped down. The coverage has dropped down, commerciality has dropped down, number of local searches you put in by hand, global search you put in down, cost per click you put in down, competition is a drop down, fudge factors are dropped down, SERPs is a drop down, and conversion rate is a drop down. What I might do before I send it out is just colour these, perhaps in green, the ones you put in yourself. Well, that's Gritty here at demondemon.com. Sign off today. This will be available on the website later and gives you an idea about whether it's worth going for a particular term or phrase based on Google data or not. Cheers.